Hey, Mike, that's an interesting request, but I can see it being a common use case for people. So I went and figured it out, and let me show you how to do it. All right, so what you want to do is you're asking, say you have a workflow going, we'll say a database reactivation, where you're saying, hey, do you want to get this offer, the special offer? They say yes. Then you reply back by saying, great, would you want to bring a friend? And they say yes. And then you say, okay, what is their name? What is their email? What is their phone? Now, once you collect that information, you want to have a workflow or you want to have high level create their friend's contact in a system. Let me show you how to do that. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to need to create some custom fields. So if we come down to settings and we go to custom fields, we're going to add a field here. We're going to do a single line. We're going to say this one is friend's name, put it in a folder. And I'm going to add another field. We'll do phone here, and we're going to say friend's phone, additional info. Add another field, and the last one is going to be the friend's email in the folder. So now we have our three custom fields. So let's go back. Let's go to the automation. Now we're going to build our workflow out. So first thing we do is create a workflow, and we're going to start from scratch. All right, so I'm going to name it. I'll just say DBR ask about friend. All right, I'm not going to put a trigger in here. You can if you want, but in this case, I'm just going to start by creating it. So we're going to say send a message, send an SMS. We're going to say, do you want this special offer? Of course, you'll have something better than that, but I'm just doing this for now, offer. And then we're going to send that message out. Now we're going to wait for reply. So wait, we're going to say contact reply, wait from that step. And I always do a timeout, say 1 hour for this case, wait for reply or 1 hour. I'm going to use this again, so I'm going to copy this, save. All right, so now what we're going to do is waiting for the reply, and next is going to be an if else. I'm going to say branch is called yes, because they're going to reply, contact reply, replied message is yes. So then they'll go down this branch, and then here after that, we're going to send another message. Now you might want to put another wait step in here to make it not so robotic-like, but more human. And so you can do that. But for now, I'm just doing this. Great. Would you like to bring a friend? And we'll say friend, say this. And now we're going to then wait again, wait for the reply, put that same thing in, wait for reply, contact reply, apply to that step, timeout, say 1 hour. And now, so now we're going to do the if else. So they're waiting for reply. This one is, again, if they say yes, you might want to add something different in, but I was doing this for now. Replied message is yes. Save that. And after we do that, now we're going to ask, what's their friend's name? So we're going to send an SMS. Wonderful. What is their full name? Save. We'll do this. Name. And then again, we're going to wait for reply. Wait for reply. Put that in. Contact reply. Replying to that step, timeout, 1 hour, save. And now we're going to come down and add another if else. This time it's just going to be the branch going to be replied because we don't know what they're going to say. It's not just yes, contact reply. And this time we're going to do the contact replied is true. Of course, you can do something else in here however you want, but this is how I would do it for now. And next thing we're doing in this one, so they did reply with the friend's name. So we're going to update a contact field. We're going to do, this one's called friend's name. And we're going to find friend's name. And that's going to be from the custom value, the message that they sent, which is the message body. Let's save that action. And now after that, we're going to send another message. Again, you might want to put a wait step in, but for now, I'm just doing this. And we're going to say phone, what is their, oh boy, phone number. Save. Let's save just so we don't lose this. And now we're going to do, again, wait. Contact reply, phone, 1 hour, save. And we're down to the if else. This is again going to be replied. I know I can copy everything, but I'm just going to do this. Contact replied is true, save. So they did reply. Now, first thing I'm going to do is update the contact field. This is going to be the phone. So friend's phone is going to be the message body of that previous message. And we're going to say friend's phone, save. Now we're going to ask for the email. So then we're going to send another SMS. What is their email? And now we're going to wait for reply. Wait, contact reply, email, timeout, 1 hour, save. And now in this case, or now next, we're doing another if else. Again, replied, contact replied, true, save. And now we're going to, we just asked for the email. So now we're going to update the contact field. This one's going to be friend's email. Man, I can't type today. And we're going to say friend's email. Again, message, body, save. All right. So now let's save this. Let me first go to settings, turn on allow reentry so we can test it. Or I just like to have it on for testing. So first thing we're doing, asking about, do they want to get the offer? Then we're asking, do they want to bring a friend? Then we're asking what the friend's name is. Then we're asking what the friend's phone is. Then we're asking what the friend's email is. And now we're updating those contact fields every time. So now next thing we're gonna do is we need to, what you tried doing was create a contact using this step. Now that's not gonna work because the error that you got was the contact is already in this workflow. True, because content or workflows are contact based. So there's a contact in here, you can't go create another one. This is actually kind of a special use case. So this has to be done in a separate workflow. What I tried doing is, at first I tried just add to another workflow, add to workflow, and then adding that one in that other workflow, but that again didn't work because it's still that same contact was in there, it didn't work. So we have to do it a different way. What we're going to do is we're going to send a webhook. Now you need a URL here, so we don't have a URL yet. So this one, we're going to keep this right here, but we're going to go create our second workflow. So I'm going to come back, I have another tab open, I'm going to create a workflow, and I'm going to continue or start from scratch. This one I'm going to call create friend. And then here, the trigger is going to be, in this case, the inbound webhook. Now remember, this is premium actions, so it's going to cost every time you do it, but it's minimal. So inbound webhook. Now you have this webhook here. So we're going to do, if you try to click save, it's going to say you need to map the fields, which is true because it doesn't have any information, it doesn't have the packet of data. So what we're going to do is kind of keep this one in kind of this draft limbo stage. We're going to copy this URL. We're going to go back to this workflow and we're going to paste the webhook in here. I'm going to save that. So now what we need to do is we need to trigger this workflow to send over to the other one. We need to trigger this webhook, sorry, to send over to the other one. So I'm going to save this. All right, so we got the webhook here. Now let's actually go and test the workflow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this down a little bit. I have my test contact here. So this is test contact I'm going to send the text to. And so let's go back and do that. Before we'll come back to this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test the workflow. I'm going to put in my test contact. And we're going to run the test. So now, as we see, it's going to come down here. First, I should get the text. So we should see it come in here in a second. There we go. Do you want the special offer? Okay. So now to just see where they are in here, enrollment history, back to builder. Instead of click the refresh button, that takes longer, but I like to do this, one of these tabs and back to builder, and you already see them here. So I'm going to say, I'm going to reply back. Yes, I do. So we'll say yes. Now it's going to bring the contact down here. Come down here, it's going to ask about the friend. So we're going to refresh again. Great, would you like to bring a friend? Yes, I would. Say yes. Okay, and we're going to do this. Come back here. Now what I'm going to do is, because we're waiting for, now what's their full name? But at the very end here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a wait step in here. And you'll see why here at the end. It's for testing. I'm going to put some long period in there that because I'm going to delete them out anyways. We're going to put that in there. I'm going to save this. Now we're going to come back to, where was I? There we go. What's their full name? Bobby Smith. Okay, so now they're going down here. Enrollment history, back to builder. Okay, so a name should come back and it's going to ask for the phone. There we go. What's their phone? We're going to say 916-555-8877, whatever. That's their phone. I'll send that. And we'll back again. See where they're at now. Did it refresh yet? Okay, now since was the email. Great. Okay, so now what I did is before I send this next one, what I did was I put in a wait step here because I want the contact to get here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send them again so we can, in a way, test the workflow again. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. So here is my way of testing. Well, they're gonna say their email is testingtester@gmail.com. Okay, so I'm gonna send that. Now it's gonna go down and it's going to send the webhook over. And remember, we're over here and we already sent the webhook over. We're waiting for the packed information to come in. I should probably publish that and save it. Okay, so we'll come back to enrollment, builder. And now we're gonna come down here. So see, now that the wait step. Now if I come over here, remember we needed that packed information before? So now it's been sent. So now let's do fetch sample request. Look in here, and there's that request that just came in. So we'll click that. We have all the information here. We'll click save trigger. Now what happens when you save that trigger, see it automatically adds the action in here of create update contact, because an inbound webhook, remember, workflows are contact based. So it needs to know, is there a contact in here? If not, I'm going to create one. So now we can just name this as create contact. What we're going to do with the fields is we're going to come in here. We're going to say name, because we're creating the new contact. So full name. And now the information we're putting in here is going to be from the inbound webhook trigger. Now we'll say friend. So we're going to say friends from the inbound webhook, friend's name. Don't do this contact field. It won't work because that's from the other contact. We're doing inbound webhook trigger, friend's name. So we'll do that. And we're going to say phone. So friend or phone. And again, it's going to be the inbound webhook trigger. We're going to say friend, phone. Again, we're going to do, email. So email. Now we're going to do inbound webhook trigger, friend, email. So now we got all that information. We're going to save this. We're going to save it. Let's go back and just turn allow re-entry for testing. And we're going to publish it and save it. So now it's on. But now what we're going to do, so we're going back to this workflow. So the reason I put the wait step in here, I could go back and just test it all again and send all these messages. But why not do that? How about just do this? I have the wait step here. Now I'm going to take this. I'm going to move this action above the webhook. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just do this for testing. I'm going to copy and put it down here. So I'm essentially sandwiching this webhook here because I want to test this. If I need to test it multiple times, now I'm going to force the contact through. It'll send the webhook and they'll be over here. But if I need to send it again for some reason, it didn't work, then I can come back and move them around. Little testing tip. So what we're going to do is we're going to force contact over to the next one, which is going to send the webhook. So we'll send that, move all. Now if I go back here and we go back to builder, so now we'll look and we'll see now it's done there. Webhook was sent. Let's go over to other workflow here. Let's take a look at the execution logs. We go in here and we see contact was added, contact was created, then removed from workflow because that's all it was. Fantastic. Now let's go back and check it. So let's go back to workflows. Let's go to contacts. And if we look here, Bobby Smith with the phone number and the email, it was created from that workflow. Hopefully that was what you were trying to accomplish. If you have any more questions, feel free to let me know. I'm glad to help out.